Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for To Your Eternity, chapter 146. When we last left our heroes, Fushi had kind of confronted Mizuha, specifically about her sort of reliance on the knockers. Mizuha reveals that she is aware of that she has a knocker in her. And Fushi kind of comes up with, like, the closest he's really gotten to, a justification for his anti-knocker feelings. As opposed to just being a blind sort of prejudice, his idea is that relying on the knockers to handle all of your negative emotions is just sort of taking the easy path, and you have to kind of deal with the good and bad of life. We then learn that Funa's Fae stuck around. And so Fushi's able to revive her to kind of needle at Mizuha, and Funa calls Mizuha out for killing her, and then Mizuha runs off, and then I forget exactly how last chapter ended. For some reason is just escaping me. Right. Funa's friend comes in, Kasabe, I think, who had previously rejected the hair ties that Fushi as Funa was offering, and then asks for one, as sort of the first building block of rebuilding that relationship, that friendship between Funa and Kasabe. So all that being said, let's jump right on into chapter 146. And we open thinking back to Mizuha's line before she went to confront Fushi with the hair tie. And that means passing out these silly things. And we see it's Hanna who's thinking about this, who seems to be kind of hiding right outside the room where this whole conversation took place. I'm a little bit unsure how much she heard, but she's clearly unhappy with whatever she heard in there. Like I don't know if she knows that Mizuha is now kind of wrapped up in this knocker business. But Funa comes right out and sort of shushes Hanna, and Hanna walks away. And we cut to Hanna kind of walking home, Chapter 146, Number 1, Part 1. Okay. And so we then cut to Hanna then kind of finds Mizuha. Mizuha is now in front of her. So I'm a little bit confused on the timeline there. Like, maybe Hanna was not outside of that room. And she was kind of standing upset. But, like, her body language on that first page looks like she just heard something that shook her. Though given how Funa is kind of posed, it doesn't seem like she's come out of that room that Hanna is outside of. So I'm guessing that because there was a bit last time where it seemed like Fushi and Mizuha had walked off somewhere, and maybe Hanna's just kind of been standing there ever since, thinking about, it's why the line Hanna ponders is not any of the groundbreaking revelations she'd have heard had she been listening in on last chapter's conversation, is specifically the bit about the hair ties, and how Mizuha refers to them as these silly things. But anyway, back to the present. She runs into Mizuha at the corner. Mizuha, this is where you'd been? Are you alright? I mean, after what happened? And then she kind of pauses, and Hanna looks at her. Can I still be your friend? If so, I'd like you to tell me what you still haven't. So yeah, there's a little bit of like, Hanna's been out of the narrative so long, I don't quite remember what was going on in her dynamic with Mizuha. I mean, she clearly has not really been aware of everything that's happened with Mizuha over the past couple dozen chapters. And so she's probably noticed that something is up. But, she's done a bit of off-screen thinking, I think. But then Mizuha just kisses Hanna. Okay. Is this Oima's apology for the blatant queerbaiting of Kahak and Fushi and Bon and Iris? Maybe. And Hanna's just kind of shocked. And then they kind of pull away. What? You shouldn't do that. You already like someone. So this is Hana kind of like, trying to panic. She's just panicking. So you shouldn't be doing that just because we're both girls. I'm kind of confused doing that because we're both girls. Because it seems like she's saying that it's fine because they're girls. And so maybe Hana has some romantic feelings for Mizuha. I've sort of been interpreting Hana as being kind of, likes Mizuha as a friend. But maybe this, maybe it is more romantic, and that's kind of the cause of the panic. Is it like, hold on, don't get my hopes up, or something. And Mizuha tells her, I like you, Hana. And Hana kind of freezes, and Mizuha continues, what about you? Do you like me? Sure I like you. Then it's fine, right? Okay, this is... Like Mizuha, either Mizuha or the Guardian Knocker is playing some kind of game here. And I don't quite know what. Because we know Mizuha is not like Hana. We know she likes Fushi. And we know the Guardian Knocker doesn't really like anyone. But I don't quite know how Hana would fit into either of their plans. Of course, the exact details of what they're after is still kind of vague. Anyway, Hana just sort of freezes at then it's fine, right? And then she kind of continues, no, I don't think it's fine. That's not what we were talking about, was it? I think that's in response to the do you like me, sure I like you bit. But Mizuha kind of kneels. Then what did you mean? And she sort of like with her arms over her knees kind of looks at Hana. Want to do it again? And Hana sort of stares at her. You're acting strange, Mizuha. Don't you like Fushi-kun? And Mizuha sort of stares at her and asks, why do you think that? I can tell by watching you. And then Mizuha responds, sorry I made you jealous. Okay. But you're wrong anyway. Fushi's the one who likes me. I mean, that's just blatantly incorrect, and she has to know that's incorrect. So she's clearly playing some kind of game here. I just don't know what her goal is. I am, though, assuming that at some point, in some way, Hana does have some feelings for Mizuha. And my guess is either Mizuha or the Guardian Knocker is sort of manipulating that for some reason. I don't know why. I do not know what she could gain from, someone who is, in the grand scheme of things, kind of like a rando, like Hana. Like, what is the end game here? Anyway, Hana, so Mizuha's dropped this, Fushi's the one who likes me line, and Hana's confused, huh? It sure didn't look that way. Although I could tell you were definitely on his mind. And then she kind of realizes what she said and kind of panics, and Mizuha sort of looks at him, what makes you think that? Hana tells her, I was watching. Your eyes aren't very reliable. But I saw. I mean, today. Just now. Or I heard more like? That sounded like the kind of thing Aoki-kun would love. Hold on, what? I feel like there's a line missing here. The next line we see is, he knows, Yuki-kun's in on it too. Huh? He is? But I'm really confused on I feel like I missed at least a line or two. I don't know where it would be. Let me, I feel like this chapter more than most is making me be like, what the fuck is going on here? Part of that is Hana's just a character that's not done anything in several chapters. I think since I started reviewing this series, she's just kind of been in the background if she's there at all. But looking at all this, I'm trying to piece it all together. So Mizuha says Fushi's the one who likes me. Hana's like, that doesn't really sound right. But I could tell that he was thinking about you. And then she kind of like is like, oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Mizuha, what makes you think that? And then she says, I was watching, referring to I think what happened in 145 part 1. Mizuha, so but the thing here is though, she's just said, Fushi's the one who likes me. And then Hana says, I could tell you were definitely on his mind, and then Mizuha questions that. What makes you think that? Despite the fact that seems to be the argument Mizuha is trying to make here. I'm going around in circles and I don't understand what the fuck is going on. Like, am I missing something? Or is this a problem with the narrative here? There's just, something is missing in this page. Is it one of those things like Nautico Medusa and Monogatari, where the twist is that there's a huge chunk of the conversation that we're missing? Maybe. I don't know. Because what makes you think that? Then she says that she was watching, referring to 145 part 1, your eyes aren't very reliable. But I saw, today, just now. And then there's this bit, here's where it gets, like, that bit, that what makes you think that is a little confusing to me. It's this part that's just, I don't know. Or I heard more like, which would be Hanna again. And then Hanna just kind of out of nowhere says, that sounded like the sort of thing Aoki-kun would love. And what the fuck is she talking about? What is that? Like, what is the that there? There's nothing in the earlier page that would refer to that. I have no idea what she's talking about. And maybe I'm angrier because Crunchyroll Premium, earlier today, Crunchyroll Premium is biting me in the fucking ass, and I'm a little bit mad at that, and that's sort of bleeding over into here, but I don't fucking know what she is talking about. That sounds like the sort of thing Aoki-kun would love. And no idea what that refers to. Mizuha says he knows. Yuki-kun's in on it too. There's no saying what in on it means. It's just he's in on it. In on what? Who fucking knows? And no one has decided what the it in that is. Like, Yuki-kun is in on the whole fight against the knockers, sure. But Hanna reacts like she knows what the it is. I don't know. I got no fucking clue. This whole page is just weird and borderline nonsensical. Let's just go on. Mizuha then says with this little grin, everyone's worried because they love me. And Hanna sort of stares at her and sits down. Are you sure you're alright, Mizuha? I want you to be happy if there's anything I can do. And Mizuha kind of turns to look at her and kind of tilts her head. Then, can I be your number one? And Hanna tries to laugh it off. What's that supposed to mean? That sounds like a trophy or something. So this makes a good bit more, like this page, if you scrap the previous page, like you can just basically skip the last page, and I feel like it makes more sense. Sorry I made you jealous, and then maybe you have that, but you're wrong anyway, Fushi's the one who likes me. And then maybe you need the mention of Yuki for everyone's worried because they love me, but none of this other stuff seems to make any sense, and they're not really talking about that. I'm just really confused, and I'm really fucking frustrated about a lot of things going on. It's all bleeding into this video, and I can tell that it's bleeding into this video. I'm just fucking tired. I am so fucking tired of things and life and shit, and this is not what this video is about, so I shouldn't really be talking about it during this video. But I'm going to carry on. I am going to carry on. This video got away from me, I can tell. This is not going to be my best work. Anyway, what's that supposed to mean? Huh? That sounds like a trophy or something. And Mizuha presses, you don't want to? Oh, sorry, but I don't know what you mean. And Mizuha sighs, and then presses, you do realize how plain and dull you are? That's why you entered a weird club like handicrafts all alone. So aren't you glad to have an amazing friend like me? And she's just kind of turned on a dime there. So, again, I feel like she's manipulating Hanna in some way. And Hanna sort of freezes, and then asks, that's how you saw it? And she kind of smiles. Yep, didn't you? And Hanna kind of, her body language there, she was like kind of crouched with Mizuha, now she's sort of standing and like body leaning away from her in just kind of a horror sort of thing. And then we cut to what might be a flashback. Wow, that's so nice. Let me have it, Hanna. Because we see Mizuha and Hanna, it looks like. And the hair tie. Which I thought the hair tie came from Mizuha's mom. Or was it something else that came from... I know something came from Mizuha's mom. I thought it was that hair tie. But Hanna looks at her. What are you talking about? Can I have it? It's my birthday. Huh? It is? Geez, you're hopeless. Here, it's too flashy for me anyway. And Mizuha cheers, yay! And she puts it in her hair. What do you think? And Hanna thinks, the prettiest and smartest girl in our class, Mizuha, is being so friendly to me. And Hanna says, it looks great on you. I'm so lucky. And Hanna rips the hair tie out. This stupid thing! And she throws it away and kind of storms off. Which kind of would that little bit of information ties back to the beginning, where Mizuha calls them these silly things. If that was a gift from Hanna, would explain her reaction there. I just could have sworn that was the thing from the Mizuha's mom that Izumi gave to Mizuha and sort of caused that whole drama. Or am I just forgetting something again? I don't fucking know. I need to chill. I know. I don't know. I might have to go back and relook at those chapters if Crunchyroll Premium does not disappear on me again, because apparently having a Verb membership no longer gives me Crunchyroll anymore. Don't know what's going on there. Sorry, I said I want to do that again. I'm focusing on the chapter. Sorry to any newcomers, I'm not normally this stressed out, but fuck, you know? Anyway, Hanna storms off, and Mizuha kind of looks after her. And then she calls back, wait, Hanna, I didn't mean it like that. And Hanna just storms off, and Fushi kind of calls, Fushi. And she walks away as Hanna stands there crying. And that's how the chapter ends. Okay. So it does look like Hanna is sort of being reintroduced into it as an important part of the story. Again, my big question is just, I could have sworn the hair ties were about Izumi. And Izumi said that it was like a treasured gift, and then she sees it in the store, and that's what leads to Mizuha killing Izumi. Or sort of leads to the distress that allows the Guardian Knocker to take over and then kill Izumi. So I feel like I'm just missing something there. But allowing for that little bit of maybe retconning, maybe I'm just being forgetful or really tired and need to sleep for a month. The chapter is really, I mean, it's good to kind of bring Hanna back in. I do like Hanna. And I'm kind of curious, like, if it simultaneously feels like Hanna is being manipulated, and like it's just sort of Mizuha lashing out, trying to appear sort of in control after last chapter revealed her to not be in control at all. I think that might be kind of the biggest thing about this ending. Now that I sort of thought about it for a sec, is that last chapter, Funa's revival kind of threw Mizuha for a loop. She was completely out of control there. She couldn't control anything at that point. And here, she's saying, you know, you're only here because of me. I'm kind of the one in control of your current standing. As much as Hanna really has a social standing, it comes from being friends with Mizuha. And Mizuha sort of wants to reassert that. In the aftermath of Funa coming back and sort of being, hey, I know who you are now. She wants that kind of modicum of control, I guess. Which fits the perfectionist Izumi kind of raised her to be. So that, again, is all really good and interesting Mizuha work. And so I'm curious if either it's you know, the Guardian Knocker does the kiss, and then it's Mizuha who has that line about, you know, you're so plain and dull, you're lucky to have a friend like me. And so, like it's either, sorry, I kind of lost train of thought there. It's either the Guardian Knocker and Mizuha sort of having slightly different goals there, slightly different, like, countering goals there. Or it's like the plan was kiss Hanna and use that as kind of a manipulation tactic, but Mizuha is spiraling. Like, this whole chapter, she looks tired. Even, like, her hair seems different to me. Like, her bangs are in her face in a way they aren't normally, as I recall. Let me look back at 145.5 real fast. Her bangs are normally in her face, but they don't quite seem so covering her eyes. Like, let me take another look here. like on some of these panels, her either that or her eyes are just always kind of hidden for so much of the chapter. Like if you look at when Hanna finds her, her hair is completely covered. Like her eyes are shrouded by her hair. On all of page 3, we get a little bit of eye at the bottom of page 4 during the kiss, and then after that we're right back to not seeing Mizuha's eyes again until Want to Do It Again. And I don't know, she just seems a lot more forlorn in this final scene. Like she's more kind of open and honest. Then in that kind of teasing Want to Do It Again. And I feel like the hair and the eyes is tied in that in a way I'm not quite sure how. I'm not quite sure how. But yeah, there's interesting things going on. I do think that page 7 is just really weird, and I can't make heads or tails of any of it. If anyone can, and has sat through this video of me ranting about things completely unrelated to this chapter, because I'm super not in a good spot right now, not to vent on all of y'all, but if anyone wants to make heads or tails of that for me, I would greatly appreciate it, because I don't know what that has to do with anything else in the chapter. I don't know. There's a lot of things here that I kind of want to see play out. And I don't know if it's, like, there are a couple of little things that I could have sworn that hair tie was that's what's really bothering me. So I could have sworn that hair tie was tied up in Izumi, not Hanna. And I'm assuming I'm forgetting something there. Because it makes no sense to sort of decide all of a sudden, oh no, that's a Hanna thing now. I don't know, I got no answers there. So yeah, please fill in my missing pieces. I don't want to dive through the 40 or 50 chapters of this arc trying to find out the one scene where we talk about either the hair ties at first or Izumi's death. I don't even remember what chapter that was. So yeah, please help, I guess. But yeah, I there's good stuff here. Maybe I'm just in too bad a mood to sort of enjoy it, which is my fault and not the chapter's fault. I don't know. I really don't know how to even end this. I don't know how to ask if you enjoyed the video, and I'm so fucking tired I can't even... I don't know. It's an interesting chapter. I'm just not quite sure where it's all going, but I want to see where it's all going. I guess that's my final take. But yeah, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoy the chapter and the video somehow. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!